What is the blessing of no leaks? 1. Because we often use the word fuwak hu lu, which means suffering. The opposite of fuwak hu lu is fuwak vo lu, the end of suffering. In fact, when one attains vo lu, which means the end of suffering, liberation, then there is no more blessing. The word fuwak here is a filler word, so that when the listener and reader can easily feel it. 2. The blessings of the world are having a lot of power, money, fame, satisfying greed, moving towards ignorance. The non-outflow is gradually reducing greed until it is completely eliminated, ending suffering and moving towards enlightenment. With ignorance, there is no enlightenment. 3. Let's draw a V-shape. One side is ignorance and the other side is enlightenment. Right at the bottom of the V-shape is the position of a person who is full of greed. That is when we can read and understand the Four Noble Truths. Because of our greed, we are full and strongly develop lustful thoughts, greed, anger, ignorance, arrogance, and doubt. Thanks to that, when we read the Four Noble Truths, we clearly realize that our life is temporary, is transient, is like a flower that blooms in the morning and fades in the evening. 4. Now, we decide. If we continue to move towards ignorance, we will develop lust to satisfy our body to the fullest. We need to develop knowledge. 5. At that time, we decided to move towards enjoyment to master birth, aging, sickness, death and escape, no longer being reborn as a suffering human being. We need to develop liberational knowledge. 6. Obviously, if there is ignorance, there is no enlightenment. If there is conditioned blessings, there is no conditioned blessings. If there is knowledge, there is no liberating insight. There is only one. 7. Thus, to satisfy greed in any form, spiritual or material, is evil dharma, evil religion. 8. The Nikaya Sutras and the Sutras of Master Thong Lak teach practitioners to use the Buddha's teachings to reduce greed, in order to attain mastery over birth, aging, sickness, and death, and to escape from being reborn as a suffering human being. It is so clear that Mahayana cannot be denied. 9. The case of monks who refuse fame and wealth. Although they have renounced fame and wealth, they still have not abandoned lust, abandoned evil, and increased good. Chu ac mak tak, chung tien han han, meaning that you are still full of greed. Therefore, when you practice, you still fall into evil paths. This is so obvious, it cannot be denied. Because practicing according to the true Buddha Dharma, there is not a single sense organ that runs after the world. The mind organ, the eye organ, the ear organ that runs after the seen have already fallen into evil paths. Although they gave up fame and fortune, when their country was attacked by foreign troops, they immediately returned with a vicious strategy to win. It is clear that they practice only to repel their mind. When faced with problems, greed, anger, ignorance, arrogance, and doubt arise as usual. Is that right? Practicing without leaving desire and evil is practicing to avoid life. Is life boring or not boring? Let me ask my dear friend. 10. If we want to practice and attain enlightenment according to the teachings of Buddha Shakyamuni, we must always, regularly and permanently direct our mind, use the Dharma to act in accordance with reason, abandon desires, abandon evil dharmas, increase good dharmas, in the spirit of not causing suffering to ourselves, not causing suffering to others and not causing suffering to living beings. 11. To practice the right Dharma, we must first practice to familiarize our mind with the Buddha's Dharma. When our mind is familiar with the Buddha's Dharma, we will diligently practice one Dharma and only one, until that Dharma enters our mind, then our mind becomes a liberated mind, then our mind becomes a Buddha's mind. That means we have attained the fruit of no outflow, no more suffering. If we want to practice the true Buddha Dharma, we must be selfish towards people in the world. We close the door, we fight with ourselves, we no longer need to care about the people around us. Whether they suffer or die, it doesn't matter. We no longer care about them, if you still think and are attached to worldly people. You should practice Mahayana heresy to be worshipped by Buddhists and enjoy your life. 12. If we want our mind to become familiar with the Buddha's teachings and practice to reach the right goal, we must first practice using rational intention and practice the 6 basic methods. When our mind is familiar and proficient, we can choose the appropriate method and practice diligently until we attain fruition. Obviously, Buddhism is science and super science.